Hey everyone, welcome to the Farm and Pastor's Wife. I'm so glad you're here. My name's Leslie. You are in my kitchen down on our farm, and I am thrilled to have you here for this Mother's Day collab. Hey, listen, if you've not subscribed, I would love for you to do so. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss anything. Be sure to leave me a comment. Tell me where you're watching from. If you're not new and you're back, welcome back, guys. You know how much I absolutely love and adore each and every one of you. Okay, so like I said, this is a Mother's Day dessert collab, and it's a collab of Women of Faith on YouTube. This is being hosted by Super at 60, my friend Darlene. Also part of this collab is Momma Mel. A lot of you guys say that she and I look quite a bit alike. And so go check her out. And then also my friend Marion, and that's the name of her channel. She is a wonderful mom of a bunch of kids, and she makes a lot of large meals. She does freezer, prep ahead. She does all those things, and makes me jealous. All of these ladies are amazing cooks. And yeah, we can all learn a lot from each of these ladies. So y'all be sure to go check out Darlene at Super at 60, and that's SOUPER at 60. Momma Mel and Marion. Please go check out their channels. Tell them the Farm and Pastor's Wife sent you over, and enjoy these beautiful women of faith. And whatever dessert they're making, I will link their videos down in the description below. But hey, before we get started, I want to show you guys something. Ow, my jaw just popped. Did y'all hear that? A sweet viewer sent me this, and I am so excited. And when I saw this dessert, I was like, oh, I know what I'm using for this. So anyway, we're going to unbox this and see. It's cordless. I'm so excited. I'm absolutely so excited. So Linda, thank you so much for sending me this. I hope you got my thank you through Amazon. I sent a Amazon thank you, and so hopefully you got that. But if not, I'm telling you here on YouTube, thank you so much. I cannot wait to use this, and we're going to use it in this dessert. So also in my dessert, well, let me go ahead and tell you what it is. And this is probably the worst day in the world for me to make this dessert because it's very humid outside, but we are making a strawberry pavlova. I have never made a pavlova, and so this is going to be the first. But I also want to show you these absolutely gorgeous strawberries I got for this dessert. I mean, how beautiful is that? I cannot wait. Look how big they are. And I've already been, my jaw popped again. I've already been munching, and they are so good and so sweet and so fresh. And these are straight from the farm. So I'm going to get the strawberries washing. I'm going to unbox my mixer and read up on it and see what I need to do to charge it and get it ready. And then we will get started. So remember, I'm going to link down below Amy's, Mel's, Momma Mel's, and Darlene's at Super at 60. I'll link their videos down below. I don't know if there's going to be a playlist created or not, but hey, I'm going to link their videos down below. And so I will see you guys in just a little bit. I'm going to get to washing the strawberries, get this unboxed. I'll be right back. Are you ready to get started? I've got half the strawberries washed. I washed them in some water and vinegar. They're laid out on my counter to dry. I've got another batch in some water and vinegar, and I'll wash those in just a minute. But let's get started. Let me see if I can get a different angle so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so it is just a little bit harder for me to adjust the camera with it being so far away, but I know it gives you a full view, and you guys like this view. I know that. So when it's an easy recipe for me to maneuver the camera, I'll try to do this angle. But what I have here is 1.5 cups of just granulated sugar. And to that, I'm going to mix in 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. I'm just going to give that a whisk in this bowl and then just set it aside for the time being. I'm going to take my whisk and just whisk that cornstarch in that sugar really well. All right, and like I said, we'll set that aside for the time being. Now, I am going to use my new hand mixer, but I'm still going to use my stand mixer bowl just because I like to do a meringue in this type bowl. And normally I chill this. If I'm making whipped cream or meringue, I chill it, but I didn't this time. So in my beautiful sweetgrass basket, I have 6 eggs that I need to separate. So I'm going to, I was about to get the wrong bowl. I'm going to separate the whites. And we'll save the yellows for maybe some scrambled eggs over the weekend, or I don't know, we'll save them for something else. And I'll just do a couple of these. All right, I'm going to finish cracking these eggs and I'll bring you back in just a minute. So I have 6 egg whites cracked and in here, and I put the yellows over there. I'll get those in the refrigerator in just a minute. So to the egg whites, I'm going to add a half a tablespoon of lemon juice. I'm going to add some salt. That's probably a half a teaspoon of salt. And a couple teaspoons of vanilla flavoring. And now we're going to try our new mixer. I'm just going to get it till it's frothy, and then we'll start slowly adding in our sugar and cornstarch mixture. So I'm going to cut the camera off because I know the microphone's loud. So I'm going to cut the camera off while I mix it, but we'll get it to stiff peaks and I'll bring you back in just a minute. Okay, so here is what it looks like so far. I've got some peaks, as you can see. I probably could have gone a little bit longer on it, but I'm just anxious. So let's come over here. I've got parchment on a cookie sheet, and I'm going to dollop this on. I'm really just basically trying to get it all out right now. My oven is preheated to 225. Now, don't start this unless you have plenty of time. All right, I'm basically just getting it all out right now. I set that down. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of spread this out into a round and kind of giving it an edge. Does that make sense? I want a little bit of an indentation. You know, I want it to have a rim. Not much of one, but a little bit of a rim. All right. I'm going to bring this over there so you guys can see what I'm talking about it having just a small little indentation of a rim. And it looks a little bit thicker on this side, so I want it to bake pretty evenly. So if it's thicker on one side, I'm going to kind of spread it out. Okay, so let me come show you. All right, can you see how I gave it a rim, a slight rim, not much, just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going in a 225-degree oven for approximately 2 hours, 2.5. So I'll see you back in just a little bit. I thought we could come back over here a little closer now, just because I'm not really doing anything except slicing up strawberries. I also, the Pavlova stood in the oven for 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I have turned the oven off, but I have not opened the door, and it is just going to sit there for until I'm ready, actually, at least 2 hours. But I probably won't get it out until I'm ready to actually put this together. So I'm hoping I can get Caroline to come over and have a Mother's Day dessert with me tonight. I don't know what she has planned, but I know Bryant's going to be gone tonight, and so I thought it would be fun. Part of this collab was to decorate a pretty table, or, you know, to have some kind of pretty, I'm just a country girl. And Darlene gave me a great idea about putting it on a hay bale, putting a tablecloth or something on a hay bale and doing it outside. Well, and I'm just quartering. If they're fairly big, I'm quartering. If there's some of these, I've got some pretty small ones. If they're a small one, I'm just going to cut it in half. And I actually I need about, I think it's 3 cups I need. And I'm putting it in the wrong bowl because I want to measure it. I believe it is 3 cups of, yes, 3 cups of strawberries that I'm either going to half or quarter. So I'm just not good at that kind of thing. But I thought on my little coffee table, I could put a pretty tablecloth, get a little flower arrangement, and she and I can sit at the couch or even pull up chairs to it and enjoy this dessert together. I need to call her to see if she'll be able to come by tonight and do that. I think it'll be super fun. And so I am just getting these strawberries ordered and ready. And what I'm going to do is I have a couple tablespoons of sugar that I'm going to sprinkle over the 3 cups once I get those chopped and ready. I'm going to put the sugar over them and let them just kind of sit and hang out. This dessert is actually going to have 3 layers. It's going to have the meringue, which is in the oven, and then it's going to have like a whipped cream with yogurt type cream, and then it's going to have the strawberry topping. So we're just going to get this brought together real quickly. The leftover strawberries, I think I'm going to just cap them, stick them in the refrigerator, and make that wonderful dessert that you can make with angel food cake. I think I'm going to make that maybe one day next week. I've already made it once this year, so I don't know if I'll film it. I may film it just because it's something I'm doing, and that's usually what I do. Even if I've done the video before, I just, you know, I just video what I'm doing. Even if if I've been on the channel 100 times, I'm going to video it just because I'm doing it. So here is a cup and a half. So I need to fill this up again, and then we'll get the sugar on. So I'll bring you back just as soon as I get this filled up again, and we'll stir in the sugar. Okay, so here are my 3 cups of strawberries, and I've got about 2 tablespoons of sugar here that we're just going to pour over that. And I'm going to stir that up. And then we're just going to let it sit and hang out. I may stick it in the refrigerator just to keep it cool. I'm actually going to let it sit out at room temperature for a little while, and then, you know, in about 15 minutes, I'll stick it in the, because I want that sugar to dissolve, and I think it'll do better sitting out at room temperature. And then in about 15 minutes, once it gets good and dissolved, we'll stick it in the refrigerator. Oh, it smells so good, y'all. Smells so good. All right, so that is it for right now. We're going to let the Pavlova hang out in the oven. I haven't even looked at it. I haven't even peeked to see if it's held together, to see. I don't even know what it's done in there. So it was in the oven for 2 hours and 15 minutes, and then I have cut the oven off, and it's just going to hang out in there until I'm actually ready for it. Then we'll come back together and make the whipped cream and yogurt cream sauce, and then we will, our strawberries are already made and ready. What I have to do now is cap all these strawberries and get them in containers so I can store them in the refrigerator until I get the other cake on a different day. So I'm going to clean up my mess. I'll meet you back here in just a little bit. So let's get the Pavlova out on, I hope this is big enough, and then we'll make the whipped cream creamy section. So let me grab it. I'll be right back. Here we go. Isn't that beautiful? All right, let's see if I can get it on here without breaking it all to pieces. I'm trying. I've got it loose on that side. I just don't want it to crumble. Oh, it's breaking. Stay together. Yay, stay together. Okay, there's that. Let's move this out of the way. We'll actually move this out of the way for the time being. Now, I did put this, after I washed it, when I made the meringue stuff, I washed it and I did stick it in the refrigerator. So we're going in with 2 cups of heavy cream. Which is exactly what I had. And we're going to grab our hand mixer again that Miss Linda sent me. Linda, I love it. Thank you so very much. I'm going to get this started. Whoops, got to unplug it. It was charging. I'm going to get this started. Once I get it starting to thicken up, we'll add in 1/4 cup of sugar. Okay, here is the whipped cream. I've got it done. We're going to add one more thing to it, but I'll do it in just a minute. So to our whipped cream, I'm going to add in 1/4 cup, a healthy 1/4 cup of vanilla yogurt. Just any kind of vanilla yogurt is fine. And we're just going to take a spatula and fold this in. This is going to be absolutely delicious. All right, we've got all of that folded in. And so now Caroline has arrived. I'm going to go put on a pretty little dress. And she's already dressed and ready for this Mother's Day collab. Jamie's coming to get the boys, and then we will sit down and try this Pavlova. All right, so let's get this put together. I've got the coffee table set up just mildly, very simply, nothing extravagant, but something where Caroline and I can sit on the couch and we can just talk to you a little bit and share some of our Mother's Day memories and things that are special to us. So let me get you bent down here. Turn down here. And there is a little cracking, but that's okay. That's all right. It's going to taste good, even if there's a crack. So I'm going to take some of this whipped cream and we're going to smear it on. All right. And then to that, let me grab a slotted spoon here. And we'll have to go over and get some pictures. But we're going to add these strawberries right on top of this whipped cream. Now, what an absolutely elegant, and this was not hard at all. The main thing was you just needed the 2 hours and 15 minutes really in the oven and to be here to turn it off. And then just let it sit in the oven. That's what took the longest. The strawberries was nothing. The whipped cream was nothing to put together. So there we go. I believe it could have used a little more strawberries. But there we have this beautiful strawberry Pavlova. And I'll meet you in the den and we'll sit down and give it a try. Well, guys, guess what?
She had a senior moment.
I had a moment. We didn't turn the camera on. So we're going to have to do a taste test.
The camera?
I meant the microphone. We didn't turn the microphone on. We had the camera on. So we've already eaten a big whole piece at each, and we're going to eat another one just for you. And we're going to share a plate because we've already carried one plate. Hang tight. Let me show you that footage, just a little bit of it, of us cutting it. There might not be any sound, but that's okay. Well, even though my microphone wasn't working, I thought I would show you when we initially did cut the Pavlova and where we initially tasted it. I hate I did not have my volume on because later on I've actually cut this part out. But Caroline said some really sweet things about me, and I wish I'd have had it on recording. She was so precious. But anyway, that's okay. I know in my heart what she said, and she knows what she said, and it was so sweet. But here we are cutting our first piece of the Pavlova, and y'all, it was just absolutely amazing. It was so good. I was grabbing another strawberry for Caroline. I thought she needed one more strawberry. If you can hear a roar in the distance background, it's all the cicadas coming out. But here we are getting ready to give it a taste. And we're both in awe. It is so very good. It was actually pretty hard to put down. The meringue part was absolutely amazing. It was delicious. Everything was wonderful. The whipped cream was perfection. I've never seen putting the yogurt in the whipped cream before, but it was absolutely amazing. So, okay, guys, we're going to eventually set it down. And now back to where we have some volume. Okay. See, there was no sound at all. And we just talked. We shared funny stories. And I was going ooh and ah over how delicious this Pavlova is.
And that was really sweet. I don't know if I can be this sweet again.
She was really sweet. That is so good. Man. That's good. We're sharing.
Well, we've already had a piece.
We've each already had a piece. And talked to you guys the whole time. And The one time I didn't check to see if my mic was on,
It's really good.
guess what? It wasn't on.
You need to make it.
This is absolutely amazing. You guys need to try the
Pavlova.
Pavlova. It is so good.
And if you don't want to say that, you can just call it a big meringue
Meringue.
cookie.
And you can actually put blueberries and do mixed berries on here if you want. You could do peaches,
Blackberries.
but the strawberries is amazing. So we shared in the segment where nothing was being recorded, we shared some memories of my mom, and I shared memories of my mom, and she shared some memories of me. So let me just tell you real quick. My mom was, she had rheumatoid arthritis, and her hands were so gnarled up. She had all of her fingers, but you could not see them. But my mama worked for her family all the time. I always had a hot meal on weeknights. She would work at the bank. She was a bank teller and count money with her hands like that. She would come home and she would make sure we had supper. My daddy was handicapped. He would say, this is his words, as I was crippled. He was crippled. That's what he referred to it as. And he couldn't reach his feet or anything. So my mom put my daddy's shoes on and off every day of their marriage. She was just phenomenal. But she had some health issues about the last 7 to 8 years of her life. She had a stroke, which left her much in a vegetated state. Her eyes were open, but nobody was home. And after tweaking some medications, getting her into a nursing home, and they worked with her medications, she did come back around verbally, but her mental status was no longer the same. She referred to Bryant as Mama and Daddy. And one of the funny stories is she never forgot Caroline's name or Isaac's. She could remember their names always. But Bryant and I were usually Mama and Daddy. But if I wasn't Mama, I was Garlene, which was her sister. And so one day she called me Garlene, and I said, Mama, if I'm Garlene, then who is Leslie? And she said, well, it's like this. Leslie's a little stray we picked up along the way. And it was so funny, and I was laughing, and everybody was laughing. I looked over at Isaac, and tears were just pouring down his face. He just couldn't imagine a mom not knowing their daughter or who their daughter was. But my mama never forgot me. She may not could call my name, but she knew I was the most special person in the world to her. And, oh, bless you. She knew I was super special, and she loved me. And the very last words that she ever spoke before she took her last breath, I said, Mama, I love you. And she says, I love you too. And I said, how much do you love me, Mama? And she says, with my whole heart. She never spoke another word after she said that. And that'll forever be super special to me. So those are some memories. Now, I have some wonderful, funny memories of her when I was younger, and she was a spitfire. But some of those may not be too nice to tell. But my mama was funny. She really was a spitfire. And
I get it honest.
Yeah, she was. So, but she was a special, special lady, and she always made sure I had everything I needed and some of what I wanted. And so she was a very good mother to me, and she brought me up in church, which is the most important thing. She made sure that I knew Jesus and that I was brought up the way she felt was the right way. And I agree. Bringing your children up in church was the right thing, and I'm forever grateful. So, all right. So what are some memories you have?
So I'm gonna start
of your mom, or are you gonna talk about Mimi?
What?
I was having trouble speaking there. Did y'all hear that?
I'll tell about you.
Okay.
But I think I'm gonna start with the sweet and the sappy, and then go to the funny because the funny is better.
Funny is better.
So I don't really have any specific. I mean, I'm sure I do. She caught me off guard with this video, by the way. I didn't have.
Hey, but you've had practice because it was all.
Yeah,
the microphone was off,
but still not a lot of time to process what I'm saying. So forgive me, but I don't really have any like specific moments of that I want to share, but just that growing up, for one, she was always the mediator. She was always the one that brought calm to the chaos of everything. If me and my brother were getting into it, whoever got to mom first kind of won her over. But anyways, so we would all, even Daddy, we would all fight to get to Mama first because she was the one that was going to stop the fighting and decide who was right or wrong. But no, she's always been the glue that kind of held our family together. And that glue got tested when she got sick. Has it really got sick? Well, when her artery dissected and she almost died, that glue kind of got tested a lot.
They were worried about that glue.
We was worried, but it stayed. Gorilla glue.
There you go.
But no, I just remember growing up, and I still think this, and she is still the most beautiful person in the world. But I picture her with her long blonde curly hair and her bangs. And there's a picture of it somewhere that I don't know if you have like a big picture of it, but Daddy carries it in his wallet. And it's me, Mom, and him. And it's, I guess, when y'all were
we weren't even married yet. We had just
y'all were getting engaged, and it's one of my favorite pictures. And that's just how I always remember her. She always likes to dress nice and look like. Even today, she said, "I need you to go home and fix up." And I'm just not.
They've seen me with no makeup.
I'm not preppy like this. You get what you get with me, but she's always told me to smile more and look more approachable. Be nice. And but as far as funny, I do have a specific funny moment. I actually have several, but I'm only going to share one today.
There may be more to come.
I'll save the rest for later. We had decided, I was about 16 years old, 16, 17 in high school, and we had decided we were having a girls' day. And I want to say we were like out in Greensboro, maybe. I don't know.
No, it was in Winston.
But was it the day that we were getting like Bibles and stuff?
I don't know.
I don't know what we were doing, but we decided that it was time for lunch and we needed to stop by Sonic. And it was before all the Sonic started closing. Now the closest one we have is Siler City. But we wanted a lime slushie and a corn dog, and that's what we were going to order, and we were so excited. Well, if you know my mom, and you've seen her behind the camera, really, she rehearsed, like, I don't know if it's social anxiety, and it's even, like, at church, or when any kind of conversation she's fixing to have.
If I'm having it in my head, my mouth moves.
She's moving her mouth, and she's, like, practicing and rehearsing it ahead of time.
I'm thinking about what I'm going to say.
It's almost like those really bad voiceover movies where, you know,
the mouth don't match.
Moving, but the sound comes like 10 seconds delayed. That's about how she does. So she gets up there and she's ordering our slushies, and the lady says, "I'm sorry, but our slushie machine is broke." And Mom was like, "What?" And the lady was super kind. She's like, "I'm so sorry," you know, and for whatever reason, I don't know what quite possessed.
That shock of the slushie machine being broken did something to me.
It allowed something to possess her.
Not really.
But she became, instead of her southern country girl, "Hey y'all," she became British. Like the Queen of England. And she said, "Well, we'll have mustard with our corn dogs." I was like, what just happened? And we got so tickled.
She went.
I did.
I'm like, I don't know where that came from.
We got so tickled. She couldn't even order the rest of the food. The poor lady was like, y'all are going to have to pull up to the window because I can't understand you.
Because I was laughing so hard. I couldn't.
And by the time we got to the window, even she was chuckling. I'm not really sure what happened. I don't know why her alter ego is British. She's never even been to London or England or Europe or anywhere outside of here.
But I did. I went to a British accent real fast.
She decided that the Queen was going to have her slushie.
With her corn dog. A mustard with her corn dog. I'm sure the Queen eats corn dogs.
She was trying to pull weight. Like, maybe I can intimidate them to fix their slushie machine.
Oh, we'll have mustard with our corn dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's funny.
That's probably one of the there's multiple funny memories.
Oh, yeah.
She can't drive either, y'all. She drives like she's got good insurance.
I really can drive. I really can.
I need to go to the author for that.
But let me tell you, sitting here with her, I am super proud of my beautiful daughter and the mother she is, and super duper proud of those little boys. Those blonde-headed, blue-eyed grandboys, and the third one that's on its way. I'm still hoping for blonde hair. Blue or green eyes are fine. She's wanting brown eyes.
I want one to have my eyes.
Is she green? They can have mine. But
I prefer brown.
But anyway, we're going to love it. We're super excited. So we're going to love little Benji. And, of course, we love Judah and Levi. You've already seen that. So, we're going to pack up the boys some of this Pavlova, and we're going to send it home with Caroline. And now that we've recorded this twice, now that we've recorded this twice, we can put a little end to it. But so, yeah, we recorded this whole thing, and the mic was not on. Thank goodness it's still on now. So, all right, guys, we are going to end it here. Listen. Give your mom a hug if she's still living. If not, give the Lord a big thank you for your mom. And I said before, which it didn't get recorded, but if by chance...
I'm moving my mouth.
She's doing what I do. If by chance your mom may not have been a very good mom, you just decide in your heart that you are going to be a good influence, a good mom. Even if you're not a biological mom. You influence people. People are watching whether you know it or not. And I want you to go forth and shine Jesus wherever you go and be a spiritual mom to somebody, even if you didn't have a good example. You be the example. So, and shine Jesus, because he's the most important thing and the world needs to see him. So we're going to leave now. I'm probably going to eat some more of this, and we're going to send the boys home some, and hopefully we won't have to record this again. So, So thank you guys for joining us. If I don't see you before Mother's Day, which I will, I plan on it, but in case you miss it, happy Mother's Day. I love you guys. And remember, if the grease is hot enough, you can fry anything. Bye, y'all. And now I can't cut it off.